So, as we have discussed a lot about the astrology and all its branches, I just want to share about my experience that what I feel personally about this branch by being a student of Jyotish from last 7 years. So, the most important thing which I find which is lacking in this field is the research. Earlier on, I was also a non-believer and I was also a very big critique of astrology that they are all fraud and they are all nonsense people. They just want to make money and nothing else, and all sort of things were there. But one like day, just I wanted to see that what is there this field. So I started exploring it. Okay. How I came into this field is a different story. Talk about it some later, but eventually, what happened? I started learning it, and while reading it, I found it useful that let us try and see that how much it is applicable. And there were some rules which were really being followed for each and every set of person. Some rules, I will not talk about each and every individual rule is applicable. That will deviate. But yes, some things were applicable for all. I was very much surprised that okay, I'm finding this in this person, this pattern is there. I found that this is not just like making a vague claim is really a very big blunder. And that's when I realized that even a negative believer is also a theist or a believer. Okay. There are only two types of people mostly in the world, positive believer or negative believer. But we lack true atheists, which we need more and more. True atheist can never disprove anything without evidence, cannot prove anything without evidence. And that's where we need a lot of people who should be true atheists. Because a true atheist will definitely use the God, both by the Bhagavad. A true atheist in his journey will definitely encounter a lot of points where he will be flabbergasted to know that there are some things which are beyond our knowledge, our intelligence, and while exploring those things, you will definitely reach in something which is very vast, very wide. And we need atheists, but we don't need negative believers. We don't need blind positive believers also. We need something in between. We need a totally rational people who are open to both sides of arguments. And you know that to establish the causation for anything, we have to look onto 8 things established by Hill surgeon's criteria in the research. To establish the causality that A is actually impacting on B, you have to look onto the 8 different things, 8 different aspects are they established or not with respect to this association. And that's why we say every association is not causation. But uh, Maharishi Gautam has given 16 criteria to establish the podcast. I read the Nyaya Sutras, I was like, just my mind was totally out of like world because I studied it after studying the field of research and community medicine and found that God, we are actually working on 8 things and he has done 16 things. So all 8 things mentioned in the Hales criteria are there in Maharishi Gautam's Shodash criteria, the 16 set of criteria, and the other 8 things are mostly related to the policy, Bhasa, and you have to see the criticism regarding the established causation also, established association also. That what all criticisms are there, what all arguments are there in support and what all arguments are there in against. How can you ignore them? These sort of things are actually missed by the Hills criteria, but Maharishi Gautam has included them. That's why the Vedic knowledge, which has reached to us even after 5-6 thousand years, it is so much scientific and so much valid because it has passed through 16 criteria. That was the level of all our rishis, that they were so rational behind the thinking. And that's why the research can only be done by the people who are content. The one who is behind making money cannot do a good research. Okay? They will only be focused on making money. That's why rishis have only contributed to the scientific world and no one else have done it. Like I'm not see the modern science has also contributed a lot, not like disregarding their contribution. It is must that's why we are talking about this. Okay, we are using their platform only. But you know, the rishis have contributed, and the state of rishis were totally non-biased. In Jyotish, we face lot of confirmation bias. I have some set of rule and I just want to confirm somehow that my rule is perfect for this prediction. This is what we all are facing because we identify ourselves with that criteria and we are stuck into it. We are not able to move on. Okay, this has failed. Think something else. See again, review again. Just reach a stage of not knowing again. We all fear from a stage of not knowing, I don't know. And that's where the main problem is happening again and again, that we are avoiding the stage of I don't know. We just want to rush with the available concepts and make a prediction. And that is hindering the growth of astrology. And we need more researchers who are actually interested in exploring it, not the one who are just believing it blindly and not the one who are rejecting it blindly. But some explorers who want to dive into it, see, and they can actually filter it out. So the claims of Dhruv Rathi, which he has made in his video, you were telling that these all claims are just by the left-wing media and all the other things, but whatever he told was true. It was not false. All his claims were true. You know, and these things which he has targeted should be targeted. And that's why those things should be rejected, eliminated at all. Because the true astrology doesn't talks about all those things. They are all just the money making machines of the people who are in astrology. Everyone will just listen about some or the other astrologer, will just pay and he'll just think that he will help me out. He will just change my life. This is a common set of belief in India that we are running behind astrologers, running behind the spiritual leaders, and running behind all the spiritual path just to change our lives, but to change our outer life. We want blessings for the growth of our uh, uh, financial needs and financial things to be taken care of. We all need the blessings for the family relations to be good. We are all just using the spirituality for the material life, using the Jyotish for the material life, and this is where we are lacking behind. We are not at all non biased or unbiased, and that's why no study in astrology is really unbiased. It's a bitter truth. And most of the studies have been done just for the sake of doing study or achieving a title. The PhD thesis also. They have not been done by anyone who was interested to do it. very less. That's where we have to bring a change. Jyotish can only be developed by those who are content, who don't demand the money. They have to reach the state of the rishis, content, and they should be totally non-biased. Okay, this criteria is not working right now. It's failed. Failed. We have to accept the failure. It is very hard. You worked a lot for, like you explored lot of things. It happened with me many times. Like I collected the data ruthlessly, stacked it, properly coded it, then tried it, developed a model, and then when I just tested it, it was not giving the proper result, only 50-60%. It really, at that time, it was not difficult for me. Sorry, it was difficult for me to handle it, that all my efforts were not fulfilled, sorry, were not rectified. But then I realized that, okay, what I thought was probably not correct. Let us go review and then see that where is the thing happening. Science is what I believe. Two things are there in science. One is objectivity. Another thing is to understand what is happening. Okay. So if you are just sticking onto these two things, the objectivity and understanding why it is happening, why these are things are happening are scientific. You don't need a title of doctor or any other to prove yourself to be scientific. You just need to have two things, that you are looking at the standard established results, and second thing, you are exploring the things and trying to understand them. And for that, you need an unbiased mind, which is very difficult to have. And that's why to do very good research in this field, you have to go to the state of rishis where they were, because they have done all their things unbiased. Yes, they have written the subjective things in the Vedas according to their experience, but that subjectivity also has an object. The same things have been experienced by all the big spiritual leaders time to time. They all have ultimately said the same thing. So we all have potential. We all have, but just what we need to achieve is a non-biased scientific mind who is actually willing to explore, understand what is happening. Okay, and we'll be able to develop lot of predictive models in the astrology, okay, which are valid and which will really work. They can be population specific, they can be specific for a time, for a place, and for that we have to understand our question well, our problem well. For example, dating of marriage, you are seeing, and I when I saw Supraji Raman sir's video about the timing of marriage, I was flabbergasted. My God, he has done really phenomenal work. He has understood the problem well, and he has explored it in the right manner, and he has given an algorithm which is mostly working. Okay. Everything will have exception. In the medical science also, any report which is coming, they have a disclaimer, it is 99% correct. 1% there are chances of failure. We have to accept it. Okay. So we have to just work in this manner only. And if we keep on doing it with the reverence and with the mindset of the rishis, will definitely bring the gold mine of astrology in. This was my opinion regarding it, it's my personal views. And the people who are pointing out the questions, just let them point out, because mostly they are pointing out the valid questions only. If like any astrologer is predicting a cricket match and his prediction failed, then It should be questioned that why your prediction failed. Should review it. Okay. Because mostly the methods which they are using is totally like funny and you can laugh over them. They are not having the proper understanding of the problems. Just on the basis of some predictions getting right, they are claiming themselves to be 99% correct predictions and all, and they just want to make money. They cannot do anything for this field. They will just come, earn, and go. And that's what is happening from years, like from 1960s or something. Like everyone is just coming, misguiding, and going. Very less people are there who are truly working with it. Okay. I know a lot of people who are really working well and they are not that recognized as those who are just giving some sort of predictions, getting them right and earning them. Because money making is an entirely different. It's ruining again and again this branch. And the money, the research studies are not properly designed. If they are designed, they are not funded. All sorts of problems are there. Let's see in future we overcome all these things and probably design a very good model, very good predictive models which will be able to guide a person to give a proper guidance about the time is the best thing which I think one can do for others. And for this, we have to really go deeper in it, understand everything from the perspective of Shastras, understand the current scenario and the problem which is there, the current situation, how it is related to the Shastras and how Shastras are related to it. What is the link between them? To find the significators, make the hypothesis on them, test our hypothesis, and just this hit and trial, keep on going till we reach a very good model which is predicting everything. Yes, that's what I wanted to say. Thank you.